Questions Only Questions is a wonderful design for unblocking a stuck team. We've all been there, experiencing that sinking feeling when the group we're leading is stalled or not functioning on all cylinders, but we can't quite put our finger on the issue. What we do know is that there is tension in the group, that folks aren't relating as they should. There is some kind of unfinished business within the group that appears to be impeding its productivity. Yet there hasn't been any major blow-up or crisis, no identifiable issue that shouts to be solved. This design will give you a tool to unstick your team by helping the team members put their issues on the table, talk honestly without defensiveness, and speak the truth without recrimination, basically to clear the air. Step 1. The setup. One of the best things about this design is that it can be used with little or no notice. No preparation is necessary. All you need is the realization that something is wrong and you should do something about it. Once you have decided to use this design, the next thing to do is to suggest to the group that you have an interesting process that will help them to move forward. You can tell them you've done it before and that it will be engaging and, yes, fun. Then give them these simple instructions. Somebody will begin by asking another person on the team a question that, if answered, would help us to explore what's going on in this group. The person receiving the question can only answer with another question, either back at the person asking the original question or at someone else, but it must be a question. The question can be related to the first one, or it can raise a very different issue. It can be a direct, hard question such as, "Mary, what's keeping us stuck?" Or a softball such as, "Is this making you nervous?" While the meeting participants might look confused, it's actually very simple, and you can give the team a few examples to get them started. Bill asks Mary, "Do you think we have unfinished business that is holding our team back?" Mary, instead of responding to Bill, asks Scott, "Do you think everyone is pulling their weight in the group?" Scott then asks Mary, "Have you noticed how fast some folk leave at 5 p.m? Mary then asks Ellen, "Are people free to give each other feedback in this group?" Ellen asks Scott, "Why would people not feel free to give feedback to someone in the group?" And so the process continues. By giving the sample questions, you're effectively setting a tone and direction for the group. Also, ask them to be creative and honest in what they're asking. And remember, this is questions, only questions. We find people can get creative in their questions, such as, "Bill, don't you think we are stuck because we never finished discussing the conflict Mary raised in the group last week?" Then Bill might ask Mary, "Is that true, Mary? How you feel about it?" Thus, a clever question can also be a powerful statement. Step 2. Identifying the issues. When you've gone around the team a few times and have a pile of issues on the table, stop the process and create an opportunity to focus on some of the issues that have arisen. You can either put people in random groups of 3 and tell each cluster to agree on 2 or 3 issues that they need to discuss further and attempt to resolve, or you can just ask each person to decide on 1 or 2 issues that need to be addressed based on the questions and see where there is overlap in their thinking. Step 3. The so what. Capture the issues that arise on flip chart paper and then have an open discussion in relation to the top 1 or 2 only. Try to clarify the nature of these issues as best you can and collect ideas for possible solutions. Depending on the issues raised, the leap to solutions here can sometimes be a rather large step. If this is the case, you might want to consider using our 6-step problem-solving design at this point. If the issues are not too complex or contentious, you can simply hold an open discussion with the group, after which the next steps are outlined. The questions provide a creative way to engage the team members, and there's usually a high level of participation. After all, if you are asked a question, you are obliged to ask one in return. Not only that, but behind most questions is an implied statement that needs a response. People tend to become direct very quickly, and patterns of questions tend to arise as the participants feel increasingly open. Here's a summary of the steps with the timing for each. Step 1, the setup. Step 2, identifying the issues. Step 3, the so what. The total design takes 25 to 60 minutes.